Hello, good evening, everybody, and you're welcome to the Librarian Spotlight September edition. We are here again. I feel like dancing right now. I'm sure you're enjoying the background music playing. You're welcome to the Librarian Spotlight September edition. We were here last month, August, and now we're here again, September. It's been a wonderful sessions, a myriad, of events have been playing on concerning the librarianship profession, and we are so delighted that we are here again to have another wonderful time here at the Librarian Spotlight. In case you're just joining us for the very first time, this is the Librarian Spotlight September edition. My name is Victoria Edozi and I am the moderator of this event. You're welcome. Well, you know how we do it. I'm sorry for that we're starting this late. We had some technical issues. You know how we do it. Please, if you're watching the show, we appeal to you to kindly click on the link or copy the link in which you used to join this event and share. Do well to share and let people know, that this event has started. My name once more is Victoria Edoze, and we are already here, ready to shoot. We have a lot of, a wonderful guest today by name Dr. Sola Owolabi. It's been a wonderful time working on the voiceover and the video of your biography, and I can say you have a lot. He had a lot to give us today. So as we usually say, while you do that, please do also get your pen, your paper, and your heart ready for this event. Do also share this live stream and let people know that we have started already. Once more, this is the Librarian Spotlight September edition, and we are ready to dive right in. All right, just before we begin, of course, you should join me. Please let us know where you're watching from, your name, and where you're watching from. Tell us your name and where you're watching from. I will do well to acknowledge you and acknowledge your presence. Once more, this is the Librarian Spotlight September edition, and we're ready to dive right in. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, going forward, while we because we left behind time this evening, as you are joining, of course, you know that you should take your name and where you're watching from. And while you are that, we'll be taking a very short break. And when we come back, we shall be diving right in. Thank you. All right. Awesome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Looking at that image or that video, that short video, I was so excited because of how far we have gone. Good evening, Dr. Ayo Alonge. He's watching from Netherlands. You're highly welcome, sir. Thank you for stopping by this evening, and I'm sure we'll be having a wonderful time together. You're highly welcome to the Librarian Spotlight September edition. My name is Victoria Josie and I am also known as the Librarian of the Now. All right, moving on. This beautiful evening, we have the privilege of having the host of this wonderful event by name Dr. Mr. Okay, soon he's going to be a doctor. That's a prophecy. Okay, so we are privileged to have Mr. Sylvester Ewonu, the host of this wonderful event, librarianship event, doing wonderful things and great things in the librarianship. Tell you that for free. Okay, so Mr. Sylvester Ewonu is a global capacity builder. He is a media and an informational professional. He is dedicated, living his life purposefully and trying to build purpose-driven teams. And he happens to be also one of his purpose-driven things is trying to drive, or he's been driving. He's been an awesome leader, a thought leader, a leader indeed in every capacity, gifted in the digital field, and a huge digital leader. It is an honor to have you here, sir. And of course, you'll be joining us right now in this session to take us, to carry us around this live stream, and of course, take us bring beautiful things to us this evening and take it up from here. Okay, we also have Mr. Idara Boniface, who's joining from Uyo, Nigeria, and he's a librarian, of course. Right, so yes, we have Mr. Sylvester Ebony. You're highly welcome, sir. It's an honor to have you here. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Let's go right on.
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you so much. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you, sir. Yes, we can hear you, of course.
All right. All right. Thank you. It's always nice to hear your very sweet voice. Thank you for all you do at the Librarian Spotlight Africa Programme. And today is another beautiful day. And I want to say thank you for giving us a great start. And just a quick check. I hope we are not hearing any music. Is any music playing?
Yes, it is still playing. There's soft music at the background.
Still playing. Okay, I think I should stop that now so that we can
Yeah.
get right to the business and the purpose for why we are here. First of all, I'd like to recognize everyone that's watching. If you're watching on Facebook, I think this is also streaming on LinkedIn. It's streaming on Facebook and it's streaming on YouTube. So please, if you're watching in any of these platforms, just do well to drop your name and just let us know where you're watching from. We just want to connect with you and have this connection to recognize you. So thank you so much. I see Dr. Ayo Alonge. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to know that you are here. And Optimistic Scholar, the great work you do over there at Netherlands. Thank you so much. And I want to very quickly inform us that our guest, our honorary for tonight, no other than Dr. Sola Owolabi. He's already backstage. I don't know how many of you are anticipating. Like, I just circulated a message right now to share it with my network. And I told everyone that today will prove that librarianship is not just about what's it called? It's not just about books. Many people feel librarianship is all about books, all about shelving and cataloging. Today, we're going to break that myth and demystify that concept with the true life story and career of Dr. Sola Owolabi. Once again, I see Dr. Wanfor from Oka. This is a very supportive mentor and great leader. Thank you for always being in our streams. Thank you so much for being here. We're looking forward to have others to join us. But in the meantime, I would like to just share quickly with us a 1 minute information. Please stay tuned, and immediately we come back, we will introduce our special guest for today. Okay, before we get started, I'd love to quickly share a library solution offered by one of our sponsors, a Lagos-based company transforming libraries in Africa through technology. LibTech has over 15 years experience in executing library projects across the country. And here's one of their projects implemented at the Department of Geology, University of Ibadan, as you can see on the screen. They've actually developed an integrated library software called Active Shelf, which helps to integrate local collections, open access resources, and paid subscriptions. As you can see, the interface presenting results in one search so that your library users do not have to move from one platform to another when doing their research. If you purchase this solution, you actually gain access to over 1 million free ebooks and journals for your institution, cutting across different disciplines. Active Chef can be customized to suit your organization's brand, and for this particular demonstration, this interface is that of the Nigerian University of Technology and Management, Lagos State. Finally, I would love you to know that Active Chef also comes with a back-end interface that helps the library carry out automation activities like user management, cataloging with Z39.50 protocol, local external data export, and circulation operations. So on the screen now, you can see our core benefits of LibTech solutions. And for further information, we would love to recommend you take a screenshot and reach out to them via the contact information showing right now. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. So, having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to, without further ado, bring on board Dr. Sola Owolabi. Dr. Sola, good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Thank you. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, we can hear your voice. It will be lovely to see your face.
Okay.
Wow, amazing. Good to see you,
My face
sir.
is
How
not
are
black.
you?
Very good.
Okay, so how is everything? How's work? How was your day, sir?
Yeah, very beautiful. I'm trying to sit where you can see the light. Yeah, today has
Yes.
been very nice. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. I think this location is much better. We see you very well. Your face alone gives a lot of vibes and message and inspiration. And
Thank
I'm so
you.
excited to have you here today. And I know every other person watching us here today, they are excited. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, in the next 2-3 minutes, we are going to be playing the should I say the citation or documentary of Dr. Sola Owolabi. This is to provide a background for us to understand and get to know the man and we are trying to have an interview with today. And the next voice you hear will be the voice of Victoria and Eloho. Those are the two great team members on our workforce that produces our content at the Librarian Spotlight Africa. We want to say thank you to everyone, and please let us hear them right now. Sorry.
This September, we proudly spotlight Dr. Sola Owolabi as a Librarian of the Month. A librarian, public speaker, researcher, and a pioneering figure in bibliotherapy and cinematherapy, whose creative therapies and innovative work has addressed social issues and transformed the lives of many adolescents in Nigeria.
Dr. Sola Owolabi's academic journey began with a diploma, followed by a bachelor's and master's in library and information studies from the prestigious University of Ibadan. He later earned a PhD in reading habits. As a scholar committed to improving lives through information services, he recently completed a research certificate at the Digital Society School, Amsterdam University of Applied Sciences. Dr. Owolabi's professional progressive career in librarianship spans over 2 decades. He began as a school librarian at Success Tutors Academy in 1997, later transitioning to roles in corporate settings such as United Bank for Africa and KPMG Professional Services. His academic career commenced at Landmark University in 2013, where he grew from librarian 2 to senior librarian. Currently, he is a principal librarian and senior lecturer at Bells University of Technology, Ogun State. He teaches library and information science with a focus on developing the next generation of information professionals. As an advocate for the integration of technology in library services, Dr. Owolabi ensures that his students are well versed in the latest trends, including automation, digitization, and the role of artificial intelligence in library management. Beyond lecturing, Dr. Sola Owolabi has taken on leadership roles, mentoring students and young professionals while developing programs to enhance education. He uses bibliotherapy and cinematherapy to support adolescents battling juvenile delinquency. He has produced 3 short movies addressing peer pressure and self-concept. Currently, through his exposure to design thinking, he is exploring game therapy to ensure that young adults find therapy process as fun. He is also the author of The Library Boy, a bibliotherapy addressing bullying, discrimination, and parental involvement in education. Dr. Owolabi has presented at conferences, published over 40 articles in local and international journals, and contributed to curriculum development. His research spans librarianship, therapeutic practices, and design thinking in education. His international collaborations have earned him national and international awards. He is a member of the Nigerian Library Association, the Chartered Institute of Library and Information Professionals UK, and the Australian School Library Association.
Please join us in honoring a librarian and therapist whose remarkable work and contributions to the least profession are redefining the role librarians play in today's society. Cheers to our deserving Librarian of the Month for September 2024, Dr. Sola Owolabi.
Amazing, 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 amazing profile, sir. You inspire so many of us. Your work speaks for itself, and your contributions cuts across, breaks through the barriers and borders of librarianship to society. Thank you so much for all you do, sir. Thank you, and God bless you.
Man, thank you.
All right. So, sir, I think there are a lot of persons here right now, and we are just going to go into the questions. But let me just quickly recognize Mohammed Baba. Mohammed Baba is from the National Library of Nigeria. He's currently at Enugu, and we also have Favor from Oyo State. We have Chima, and we have we have Sadiat Adetoro. They are all here, and they are hoping to learn from this interview. So very quickly, I'm going to go straight up into the questions for today. And my first question, sir, borders on your work. One of your cinematherapy video on YouTube that is on your YouTube channel. And the title of that YouTube video is Soliloquizing on Violence in Nigeria. So, and in a very bold and emotional way, it's the first time I've ever seen you like that. It was dramatic, it was epic. So, sir, can you please share with us what actually inspired that video, you creating that video? I think let's start from there. That video, after now, I believe we're going to play that video. But could you just share with us what inspired that video?
Thank you very much. Though I'm going to go into definition of bibliotherapy and others later, but looking at the production of that video, it was at a time that Nigeria has got to a level that there's disintegration in culture, religion, political orientation, even within same culture, we see have classes. And I discovered that we are sometimes deceiving ourselves. We have to look at human beings from the point of humans, not society, where you come from, not your culture, not your level of education. And I said, if you know, he said, when your wife was pregnant and she wanted to give birth, you did not ask the doctor what tribe the doctor came from. You just want your wife to. Your brother failed an examination. He needed my brother to teach him mathematics. He never asked whether he was a Christian or Muslim to teach him mathematics. So now, you see, so we have to really understand that it's when people don't have purpose, when they don't have focus, then they begin to look for irrelevancies. You just see somebody hit by a car and people want to carry him. Will he say, are you Hausa? Can Hausa, if you're Hausa, don't carry me? Or if you are Igbo, don't carry me? Everybody is looking for help at that point. So when we look at people from the perspective of purpose, not personality or environment, they will be able to live together as a family. And then all these things are called from books. That is, I've read about people, I've read about communities, I've read about nations, and we discover that what we have read in books, can we put them together? Because librarians will say that, why are we showing videos? But we are saying that what we have read, it is like executive summary of books, but now turned into act or action. And that is the essence of this video, the cinematherapy I did. Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing. So Doc, I really wanted you to talk about it briefly to form a foundation before I play this video to our audience. We want to
Okay.
gradually build up a foundation into bibliotherapy, because I know for some persons, this may be the first time they are actually coming across the term bibliotherapy or cinematherapy. So I want us to brace up. I'm going to play the video Dr. Sola just talked about now. It's a 2-minute video, and that video in 2 minutes can change your mindset. It can change your life. So I just want us to watch this video, and then we'll come back to take some further questions from Dr. Sola.
You call me stranger now, but that was not the case when your wife was ill and you rushed her to the hospital. You did not ask about my religion when you were begging me to treat her. The other time you were in the bank to take a loan, you never asked about the tribe of the bankers. Your son failed mathematics examination and you needed my brother to tutor him. You never asked if my brother was a pagan. Why this sudden change? The other time armed robbers besieged your house and you raised alarm, we all came from different direction, and the fear of mob attack chased them away. You were full of gratitude to all. You never asked who was from the south, the east, the north, or west. Why now? Your car broke down late in the night and a stranger emptied your home. Why didn't you demand if he was a Christian, Muslim, traditionalist, or a pagan? That roadside mechanic that saved your daughter from the rapist did not know if she was Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Fulani, Niger Delta, or what? Why now? You've called me your brother before now, and I've called your sisters my sisters. My brothers have married your sisters, and we have built our cities together. Why are we now burning the cities? Has a demon suddenly entered us, or we have lost our mind? I think we are growing in age, but we are not growing in wisdom. The other time we fought, our leader said, no victor, no vanquish. But you and I know that we lost our people. Destinies were raided, dreams were aborted. We are going the same way again. If we eat the mosquito that perch on our testicles with violence, we shall surely suffer the pain. Strangers have sold gun to me to kill my brothers, and my brothers have made affinity with another stranger to get grenades to destroy my cities. Strangers are happy that their businesses are thriving. They will surely prosper in our war, and we will surely suffer loss if we refuse to wipe.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I don't even know how to express myself. Anyway, I think I'm just going to allow our participants and viewers watching to express themselves. Please, I don't know how that video touched you, or okay, BC says well done, and David says, can one have the link to the video? Yes, the link to the video, I'm going to post it when Dr. Sola is responding to this question. The videos are available on his YouTube channel. I'm going to share it with us for us to go and watch after now. That was a very inspiring video. And this makes me want to ask, sir, my question is this now. With what we are seeing you do and this powerful piece, I would like to actually confirm, sir, again, are you a librarian? I know this question seems strange. Are you a librarian, and is this part of the job librarians do or should be doing? Because there's this mentality that librarianship is all about books, they shush people in the library and catalog all day. So, sir, what brand of librarian are you? Are you sure you are a librarian? Please, if you could speak to that to us, please.
The question is a bit funny, but I know that you want to just elicit something from me.
Hello.
The truth is that as a librarian,
Dr. Last video is for.
Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
Today, I want us to know that there is something about librarianship that is
Yes,
very
sir. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. Librarianship is a special field, and I want us to come back to the history of librarianship. We know many of us were taught history of librarianship in school, but we never took it to heart. It didn't sound like something necessary. But let's go back to the time of Ashurbanipal, the Mesopotamia king, and in Egypt, the librarians were reckoned as the keepers of knowledge and also generators of knowledge, not just disseminators alone. We were actually working on knowledge, making sure that we keep them, we make them available, and also in some instances, we create the knowledge that people use. And at the early stage of education, librarians were actually the teachers of the people, because they were the one with the books. Books were kept in palaces, books were kept in shrines, and it was special people that had access to these clays, to these papyrus, all these things that we were taught. There were special people that kept them, and these were librarians. So they were not just ordinary keepers of knowledge, they were actually reading information, also generating information. I don't know if anybody has ever read seen this movie. What's the name of this that said the when the kingdom rests on the shoulder of a young man? Oh, that is Merlin. Yes, a movie titled Merlin. Merlin was into magic, but there was somebody that had books that were thought to have been burnt. He kept them, and then this man was managing books. The place was like a library, and the name of the man was Gamaliel, I think. And Merlin had to go to him. I don't know whether you were listening to me, because your
video. I was.
Yeah, thank you. So it was Merlin. I don't know whether you have seen that movie before. So Merlin was contacting the man, I think it should be Gamaliel or something, that was keeping those books. And then the books of magic, when Merlin got to the end of his wit, he had to consult the librarian. It was the librarian that now put him through on the use of magic. That was something I support magic. And also the use of plants, which was medicine of that time, because some people were poisoned. They needed to help them. It was the librarian that put him through. And this was the role of librarians in those days. They were the philosophers of those days. But as years went by, librarians became docile. So instead of generating knowledge, teaching people, then they now became keepers of knowledge that the people they have taught are now generating. Because knowledge is not static, knowledge is dynamic. So people started creating. And I will always fall on the quotation or the philosophy of what's the name of this man that says this Indian man that said library is a growing organism. That is, the library is dynamic. So
Ranganathan.
Ranganathan, that the library is dynamic. So we cannot just be static and think that this is an aspect. That is why, thank God, some people fought it later. Librarians were actually academics in the university before. They were kicked out, and later they fought for it. Librarians became academic again. And so people now say, hey, are you people recognized as academics? I said, where did academic actually start from? It was from the librarians. People that were keepers of books were the people that were not teaching sciences in those days. They were teaching philosophy, they were teaching religion, they were teaching medicine. But the people they taught now continue to expand on that knowledge, and they started creating their own field of study department. In those days, you will see Aristotle in every aspect of the field, medicine, politics, and all that. These were early scholars, and they were the keepers of books. They were reading, they were philosophers. So librarians are not just ordinary people, they are philosophers. Sometimes you venture into poetry, sometimes you can venture into medicine. That's why we have knowledge management also. A knowledge manager can focus with people, can relate with people in chemistry, in medicine, in fact, in culture, because knowledge management is also aspect of library science. And then now coming to bibliotherapy, if you go back to history, they call the library healing for the soul, a place of healing for the soul. And then you now come there to actually, those were the philosophers in those days, like Aristotle, they call library a place of healing for the soul. Several of these people, they need the library as a place for healing for the soul. So you come there to get refreshed. When people were sick, when people were depressed, they were using the library because they had the sayings of wise people that they could use. Now in 21st century, the library has gone beyond the aspect of library that is bibliotherapy has even gone beyond bibliotherapy. It has now come to cinematherapy also. That is demonstrating what you have seen, what you have read to people to see. And that is where acting comes in. Somebody wrote to me 3 days ago and addressed me. They wrote a letter to me, the university library coordinator, the university drama coordinator. I have to tell them I'm not the university drama coordinator. People can ask me to write for them. People can, but they started assigning roles that are not yours to you, but at least they wanted something for us. We did something on SDG 13, which is climate action. And then we projected a drama that had to talk about climate action. So the person came during that time. So the person thought I was the university drama coordinator. So they wrote a memo that another climate action, they wanted to discuss on it, that we should do it for them. We are going to write drama for them. We're going to write the play for them. We're going to act. But that is not actually that I'm an artist, but I'm a therapist that uses drama, that uses poetry, that uses documentaries, that uses interview to actually teach people. So don't let me take much of our time, but I think with this foundation, we can continue to build on it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. For me especially, and for some persons, from some librarians I've actually had conversations with, they would like to know what informs your decision on the topics to address. Like, there are several of your projects that we're going to be looking in the course of this interview. How do you decide? Because I know I follow you on social media, and I see you coming up with several topics all the time. Sometimes it comes in text, it comes in videos and all that. In what forms do you present bibliotherapy? And what determines the topic that you choose to address, whatever you want to talk about?
Thank you. Sometimes we look at current situations in the country. Sometimes they come by inspiration, sometimes through my poetry. Then sometimes there are specific needs that people request for, and then I make presentation on that, then I make it public. For example, during COVID-19, there were a lot of errors that people were doing. As a matter of fact, I ought to have given you that video. This man sang a song. You may not understand it, but what's the name of this man? That is a Fuji man. Coronavirus, ma wole mi, and then I have to quickly do a short play that you don't go to visit people. You don't go to shake people, because at that time we were told not to. So my friend, Dr. Ayalonge, the children were very young that time. So we were together. So I told the children we're going to add this together. So the children came to hug me, but the younger one said, "Hey, don't hug him. Have you forgotten they said we should not hug people?" So, and I said, "Oh, my God, I'm sorry. Let me tell you, please just move back. I have to go and take my bath, moving from my house to your place. I've even broken the law, but let me go and take my bath before entering your house." We projected that during that time, and several people were able to share it. And then, just to make impact, then you can see a lot of things I wrote during coronavirus. Then the beginning of the year, I called 2021 credit alert. That is, I see hours as credits. And what we invest into our hours will determine. So another credit alert has been given to us. So we make money with time. I know people that have made millions today, while some people sit down complaining. So look at, there's one boy, Tenge or something. The boy will just be playing, jumping up and down, and he's making money. But most of us waste our time. We don't make something from that. Even for the Muslims too, I can see that one of them, during the Ileya festival, I had to dress like Muslim to let them read thinks about making sure that they don't go beyond the level of celebration during that they should not just continue to work together, touching people during the Leah festival and all that, because at that time, as librarian, we have to just project something. And there is one that actually pained me that I didn't do much about, and that was the Boko Haram. Because when somebody said book education Haram, indirectly they are telling us that librarians are useless, though it is education Haram. But when we trace it, it also comes to book, because book education cannot be separated. But all through, nobody even talks about Boko Haram and all that. Even paper writing, we are not even writing about effect of Boko Haram on librarianship practice and all that. I wish.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry. You mean you also did a project on Boko Haram? Did you?
No. I only posted it. The one I did, I think I will generate it for you. It was on Nigerian Library School, and I said, yes, it was. In fact, I drew a soldier that was carrying books. You understand now, against Boko Haram and all that. That is, but I said that I didn't actually major on it during that time. The Boko Haram issue was very high, and that is one of the things I regret so much.
Oh, exactly. Wow, I get it now. But see, honestly, I still feel like we should talk a little more about this. How do you come up with these ideas? Like, even right now, from the way you're talking, a lot of ideas are just popping into my mind. What is that unique thing that makes your content, your works, what makes it bibliotherapy? Because some librarians, many people are involved in actually writing poetry like this. I know one young lady that says she's a poetic librarian. They do all those things. They shoot videos and all that. So what is that unique thing that makes it qualify to be called a bibliotherapy work or something?
Let me tell you, any video can be used for bibliotherapy, but there are qualities that set bibliotherapy books apart and that set content on bibliotherapy or cinematherapy apart. Now, let's look at it. I've seen so many people that wanted to use movies, but they are too creative. And when you are too creative, you lose the people. Now, let's say I want to teach somebody that prostitution is bad. Then I start with all the dressing of a prostitute, the dress, and then they show. In fact, some people go to the essence of showing sex and all that. And then at the end, they will now say that the girl was involved in prostitution and later died. But indirectly, you have taught people how to dress naked, how to molest themselves and all that. But in bibliotherapy, it is focused on a specific message. And also, it is not just the story alone, but the art of ensuring that catharsis takes place. That's what we call catharsis. That is the point that somebody say, oh, this thing has dawned on me. So the use of language, the use of expression matters. So in bibliotherapy, we must make sure that identification and catharsis take place. And most people write, but not with the focus of identification and catharsis. That is, the person around that are reading the work must identify that this thing talks to me. So brevity of words, the right words to use, it takes training. That's why Dr. Felicia Yusuf is also online here now. We are working together on bibliotherapy and cinematherapy, and we are training some organization. We've started the Center for Bibliotherapy and Cinematherapy at Bells University of Technology, and Kwara State University has already made arrangement with us. They are sending some of their staff to come and understudy what we are doing, and then do training for 2 weeks. So it takes training that the moment people see your work, they are able to get attached to it. Because some people use several words. I just see that it's not how much you say or what you write, but ensuring that there is identification and catharsis. But that takes training, because most people don't know what catharsis is and then what identification is all about.
Yeah, thank you very much. So thank you so much for making this very clear to me. And I know just as you are giving these explanations, I want to believe that our viewers are also drawing lessons from this. And that takes me to my next question. We are going to try to be a little bit more faster now. And my last question in this area is says, what challenges have you experienced in this process, championing? You are someone that would like to say is a pioneering librarian in this area. So what are those challenges that you have experienced in this area, so that those who would like to also be like you, they'll be able to surmount them when they actually encounter these challenges in future, sir?
Yeah, thank you very much. I should first make something known. Several people have written papers on bibliotherapy before now. I may say that I'm the first to write on cinematherapy in Nigeria. I'm very sure of that. But bibliotherapy, several persons have written papers about it. Some know what they are talking about, some don't know. You understand? Because I've read works of people on cinema and bibliotherapy, but cinematherapy, I'm the first. So there are people that are in this field, and some people, when they see you doing this, some of the challenges I encountered was that people think you are not serious. We are starting film shooting tomorrow now. Some people are already wondering, that is what is the meaning of this nonsense that you people are doing. But it is later when they now begin to see the sense of in it. So at the beginning, you must not be discouraged, because you are breaking, or you are, don't let me break it, you are extending the frontiers of knowledge. And when you are extending the frontiers of knowledge, you see that it will meet with a lot of criticism, and those things are good, because if you are not doing anything people can criticize, then you are not making sense at all. So at the beginning, you must see that people will oppose you, but as they are making their comments, you are making changes. Several people will say, this is nonsense, but in their nonsense they are saying, I'm making sense. So at the beginning, you are going to meet that. People will not take you serious. Somebody will just say that, what poetry? You're just writing poetry. But later they will see that, like this one we said now, book cooks the food to good in school. Books cooks the food to good in school. Then we now began to expand it to people. Then we began to explain it. Another one, knowledge. I've been to your kitchen, never to reason like a chicken. And the knowledge kitchen is the library. You understand? When you come to, so people will be forced to ask you question, what is knowledge kitchen? We now said it is the library. So when you begin to reason like a chicken uses mouth to beyond the normal level to higher levels. So at the beginning, people will not take you serious. That is number one. Then number two is that sometimes you will need, you may think that you need big things to start, because bibliotherapy does not sound so big. Maybe you read a book now, and then you are now summarizing it, and then you are making sense from it to guide people. So people will not be wondering, what is it doing? Well, look at this. Please maintain this picture now. Look at that picture. Okay. It's a bibliotherapy picture. Now, you look at the background that is black, and then you see love, and then you see balloon.
Yes, the balloon.
In the Netherlands, telling people that yes, the world appears dark, and we see war going on in Ukraine, we see things going on in Israel, we see several things, and there can't be celebration without love. And then there's something like a tunnel at the center that we are going through the tunnel now. We are not sure of where we're going to be, but if we can show love to one another, and then at the end, there's going to be celebration. So when I finished saying this, everybody was able to now understand what I was saying. Yes. But looking at that, it looks childish, it looks stupid, you know.
Exactly. Yes.
So, but by the time we now explain this, we were able to organize a big seminar on that. And then we now began to look at political arena, and then we began to see war of religion, cultural war, and we see that there is absence of love in the world. So
exactly,
it takes you to go deeper. Then also bibliotherapy requires not just summarize, because we have machine that can summarize things for people, But deep thinking, sitting down to read. So a lazy person cannot engage in bibliotherapy, because some people recommend to people, you should in bibliotherapy you don't recommend books, you discuss books, and people now develop interest, and people must ask for, yes, that can I borrow that book? But by the time you recommend some people, this book will help you, go and read it, I'm a bibliotherapist, they'll be running away from you. Every time they see you, they run away, because it's like you're giving them assignment. But when you now give them a book, that this now Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, when I read it and then I summarize it, I discuss it with people, or this book, Eat That Frog, several books I've read, then you now began to talk about it. Those people must be prompted to say, can I borrow that book? That is when you get to the point of making that impact, and then you have been able to do that. So the challenge of reading, the challenge of watching videos, the challenge of meditating, all these things are very, very important. And then trying to convince people. So it's enormous. Then also you may think you need, when you go into cinematherapy, you may think you need big videos, big camera. I started with phone. Now I have camera. Now we have light. We have several things. You understand now? But it was not like that at the beginning. So when you started, small. Some people don't want to start small. You can start small, and little by little, you begin to expand.
You grow, exactly. Thank you so much. If there's anything you should pick from what Dr. Sola said just now, please do not forget about starting small. I remember when I started media, when I was doing shooting videos and all that, I started shooting in church, and we were not limited by gadgets. We were shooting short movies with our phones, and those who were viewing those movies on YouTube thought we had a complete media crew. Meanwhile, it was just a phone. So please do not let anything stop you as a librarian. And just as you can see on the screen, there are just some of them are flyers, some of them are events where Dr. Sola teaches. If you go to his Facebook, also on Dr. Alonge's Facebook, you are going to see this particular video right now that talks about media therapy with Sola Owolabi. Because of time, I'm just going to go straight to the next question right now. And the next question borders on your academic background. I know we've not talked about that, sir. Your academic background, sir. It would really be nice for those of us that are watching to know about your background. Maybe that will help us to understand the kind of investments that you may have committed to yourself that's bringing about these wonderful initiatives. Or should we say that you were born with it? Because while watching your documentary, we saw that we learned about your academic journey, starting with a diploma in library and information science, to even having a PhD in reading habits. So what can you say, or how has your academic background influenced your approach to studying librarianship today?
Thank you very much. There are some details I may not be able to go through. I'll be sounding so spiritual and all that, but I must say that the diploma study I had is even more important. It's just that we celebrate certificates in Africa. My diploma is the major foundation for everything I'm doing now. During the diploma period, I think we had good lecturers in those days. I'm not saying there are bad lecturers now, but lecturers were ready to go into details and they were not distracted at that time. I think academic was calling at that time. So it was in 1995 that Professor Okilagwe of the Department of School and of Department of Library and Information Science, Library Archival and Information Studies, University of Ibadan, mentioned bibliotherapy. He mentioned it in passing, but nothing passes me. Maybe, I don't know, it may not reflect my academic performance alone, but it reflects most in the way I live my life. If I hear something now, you may think I've had it and forgotten about it. I can spend the next 3 years researching about that. So my research into bibliotherapy started in 1995-96
Wow.
as a diploma student. So I started talking about it. I was reading about it. There was no internet at the time, but I was reading into books. Occasionally, you meet it. Then most of the things we were taught were cataloging, classification, all that. But I was willing to say, what is so special about this bibliotherapy? You know, it meant it didn't actually teach us. So I was reading a lot. Then later, when internet surfaced, then I started reading more about bibliotherapy. I now saw that librarians were like medical doctors in those days, especially in psychiatric hospitals. Librarians have been used to change many people. They will go and read to people. During the World War, when people returned from war, you know, they were disoriented. Many people were not really soldiers. So they killed and they were feeling guilty for killing people. So people were now reading books to them, making them to come to reality that this is your profession. So they started giving, and they employed a lot of readers at that time. They were taking books from the library. Both librarians and non-librarians were employed to read to people. And whenever they went gaga, they read to them, they will calm down. So I began to reason that in this field, I may have something to do. So when I was going for my first degree, I wanted something bibliotherapy. Nobody even taught it all through. Then at master's level, it was not taught, but I've fallen in love with research. So I started reading about it. You know, it was not just writing papers, because most times now when we discover something, we start writing about what we don't know. And that is the problem we have in Africa. So, you know, you just see something, I've seen this, you just write about it. You start making conference about it. But sit down, get to the depth of this. As a matter of fact, somebody wanted to write paper at that time. I started looking into bibliotherapy, and then she quickly wrote paper. I've not even written anything about it at that time. You understand? And then she wrote the
someone
paper.
You introduced me.
Yes, she wrote the paper. We were at the University of Ibadan at that time, and she wrote the paper. She didn't even acknowledge me or anything. But I didn't even bother. Now she's not doing. She has even forgotten she wrote anything about that.
Anything about it?
Yes, so we push out papers a lot. But we are not actually making impact. So we should look at making impact. So what actually made my attention to go into bibliotherapy is that we want evidence-based research, and then making research. That how many people can now say that as a librarian, you touched my life. As a librarian, your work really changed my life. At the University of Ibadan, I was supposed to do a PhD in bibliotherapy, but my supervisor said it was good in reading. So I decided to choose reading because reading is the foundation for bibliotherapy. So I linked them together. Thank you very much.
Wow. Okay, thank you so much. Are you there, sir?
Yeah.
Thank you. I hope I didn't distract you. The way you stopped, I was already drawing from you.
No, I can see your hand. You know, we discussed earlier on.
Okay. So anyway, I'm getting carried. I know we are out of time right now, but there's so much value. There's so much value that you are communicating. And I know that many of us, many librarians and even non-librarians will be watching this video as a replay. They may be watching this in next 2 years. Whenever you are watching this video, please just put a comment in the comment section to appreciate Dr. Owolabi for this wonderful insight. It's not everybody that shares details like this with you. Okay, so, and we want to say thank you so much, Dr. Sola. And you know, he was talking about impact, and that's where I was connecting with. And you see these pictures here. Doc, can you just speak to these pictures briefly so people can learn about some of your impact?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. The first picture by the left-hand side, from my side, the left-hand side where we have two ladies. We started in the university. We're researchers at the Amsterdam University of Applied Sciences, and then we were discussing, and many people there were challenges. And then somebody called me that during your presentation, you talk about bibliotherapy. Can we apply this here? Then I started educating them on what bibliotherapy is all about. And you won't believe it, more than what we went to study, everybody started calling me the bibliotherapist, the cinematherapist. And I started organizing small talks. We call it small talks with them on how books can change you and how you, because we came from different backgrounds. We have people from Iran, people from America, people from Australia, people, different people. And there was this problem of culture and this problem of race that I wanted to feature. Then I began to say that, do you see man as man, or you see man as colored? And they began to reason with me. Then we began to talk. So they gave me special time to actually talk. And then it was design thinking. So I had to do something for them. And everybody was willing to take picture with me with cinematherapy and bibliotherapy. That is the picture we have here. Then the one down here, below it, that was in 2021, I think, when I organized a special program on bibliotherapy and cinematherapy with my friend, Dr. Alunge. We're there together to make a presentation. That was before the launch of my book, The Library Boy. And the department had something on bibliotherapy, but I felt it was not well projected. And the department recognized that things have been doing, so they had to invite me to actually expatiate on what bibliotherapy and cinematherapy is all about. And I recognize the support of Dr. Aramide, the head of department. He believes so much in me, and they said they actually wanted us to keep organizing some seminars, which we did, and it was so enormous. It was so fantastic that people came from different backgrounds to listen to what bibliotherapy is all about. And it will surprise you that took me to so many nursery and primary school, because they were linking me with schools to actually make impact. And then the one I have here that you are projecting here was in Dubai. That was when I was doing my research on reading habits. So we now say reading refines, and we started projecting it, because when you are doing something, there is what we call campaign. And I learned this from some researchers. You make your work popular by making it known. So we have to go. Some people go to the extent of going to the top of the mountain to project something just to show what they are working on. And at that time, I want to know, I have a boy also that was writing on gambling. He projected his gambling on Twitter, and one white guy liked it. One white guy liked what he projected, and the person invited him. Can we be writing papers together? To cut the long story short, the guy said there is PhD opening in their school over there on gambling, and that is how my boy went to England. Now he has moved the entire family to England just by projecting his online. So, and we saw that in Europe, gambling takes a lot. Is an economical situation. People make a lot of money from gambling on football and all that. So football gambling taking him out of the country, and he has recently been given lecturing appointment over there. So projecting your work is very, very essential. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we are going to be taking the last set of questions now, and very quickly, this will be a very fast one. And today you are a senior lecturer at Bells University of Technology. But sir, I'm curious to know, tell us more about at what point in your career did you decide to transit from corporate roles and institutions like UBA? I know only few persons may know that you were in the corporate sector before coming into librarianship. So at what point did you decide to make that transition from UBA or at KPMG to the academia? And why did you leave there to librarianship? What did you see? I don't know. Is it that did you not have friends in my area? They will say, did you not have village people that advise you to? I say, what are you going to look for inside librarianship? To study library and leaving the bank and going into the academic sector. So please, can you share with us what really got into there to now portray yourself? Should I put in quotes the library boy? You decided to be the library.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I was my friend Dr. Alunga is online now. We were together at the University of Ibadan, and I was working. He was working in Lagos, Straight Gate, and then from there he moved to a library around 7 Up. So it was a private library, Reader's World. Yeah, he moved to Reader's World, and then in the process, you always like me for us to be working together, staying together. But then I was doing some projects in Ibadan. So, but as I was always teaching people, for free, I was teaching people at the University of Ibadan for free. Students, I was organizing tutorial for them. It was one of them that now got somebody at UBA, the banking school of UBA, that they needed somebody to work at the banking school in the library. So I was a librarian or a library officer, not a librarian, in the banking school. So majorly in cataloging and classification, then executive summary of Harvard Business School journal. And God really helped me. I think the Harvard Business School journal now also led me into understanding bibliotherapy better. Because as you began to now, what is so big, I must have read, total quality management, the executive wanted something very brief on it, and that is going to change their operation. So I was doing that. It was around that time that they were also going to do banking recapitalization during Soludo era. So Tony Melu came and all that, several things happened at that time, and that helped me to move. But I did not forget that I'm an academic, because I discovered that anytime I sat down, my brain would just start, without anybody prompting me, you start writing, and then thinking about problems of the world. How can we research into them? So from there, we finished. Then my friend, and from there, I moved to OA & Co, law firm. From there, KPMG invited me. All these places, people were inviting me. Somebody will talk about what I was doing to another person. I would say that I never applied to any of these places. So somebody will say, oh, I know a guy, is this. Then the problem, they will invite me, I'll go and solve it. So till I moved to KPMG. And then my friend, Dr. Alunga, also was moving from one company to another. Both of us were always moving. He would say, me, I've moved to this place, I've moved to that place. Shola, can you come to this place? I said, no, you come to this place. So I was leaving KPMG. I also invited him to come to KPMG. And Dr. Alunga had started his master at that time. He was running off his masters. Me, I had first degree, and people were calling me here and there. So I said, let me also go for my masters. So when I was leaving KPMG, it was all hell let loose. People were saying, are you mad? Because at that time, I just got married. And my wife was so excited about the place that KPMG, you post with that, and then they were serving up food free of charge, good salary, everything.
Exactly.
It was big enough for you to sacrifice your dreams. But when I think being an academic is like seed planted in you, you cannot dodge from it. So that thing was always coming to my mind. As a matter of fact, I didn't want to leave, and I created a kind of drama group that can be acting, wanted to be doing office therapy. That is, all the situation of things happening in office, can we be teaching people how to be humane and not to be a bully and all that. But the time I will close from office, I'll be closing around 9. And then before you navigate the traffic and all that, it will get to past 11. People that I told that we will meet, because I told them that by 8 I will come around, but I will not even be able. There was one faithful girl that will always stay back. We say, I'm the only one that is here now. We cannot, so I will not beg her next week. So I couldn't do that. I had to resign at a time. to say, let me go and actually face what I have to do. But it was a big sacrifice. My father-in-law even told my parents that they should not fight me. It must be a spiritual attack, that we should handle it.
Exactly what I was thinking, because I'm like,
they should handle it spiritually. But I'm glad to let you know that after I resigned from KPMG, I've started a nursery and primary school and secondary school that is thriving in Ibadan. And then I've gone into publishing of books. And then I also have a very strong bibliotherapy team that is working night and day. I write scripts, they edit, they do. In fact, it will even interest you. Dr. Longe works with me. When we're in Netherlands, we're able to produce one bibliotherapy film, also a cinematherapy movie, also over there. It was not easy, but one thing I like about him is that we keep supporting each other in some of his own research areas. I support him a lot. So it has been a long journey and very exciting journey, but it has not been easy. But sincerely, I feel fulfilled being an academic, because you can actually sit down to tackle a lot of problems, and then it's like you are being paid to do what you love. You understand? You are being paid to do what you love. Sometimes I find it even hard to sleep because you keep writing, you keep thinking, and I know the same happened to many of us also here. If you have that vision, you keep running after it, and you can sacrifice anything to have it.
It drives everything that you do. It drives everything that you do.
It drives everything.
Exactly. Honestly, my time, I feel guilty that we are exceeding the time right now. Surprisingly, only for me to see a comment from Optimistic Scholar in Netherlands saying that the program time should be extended. Dr. Sola Owolabi has much to say. He's a library and information encyclopedia. Is that an encyclopedia he meant to type? Honestly, this is wonderful. And Ibrahim is also here. He's saying that I write to appreciate Dr. Owolabi for this interesting and educative presentation. We have David saying, quite expository. Thank you, sir, from Ibadan. And Victoria is asking a question, sir. It says, please, how can young, dynamic, and creative thinking librarians join in the movement of cinematherapy? The young ones, how can they join? So if we could take this in the next 40 seconds or so.
Yeah, thank you very much. Without wasting our time at all, sincerely, it is expanding. And we start, some of these little people online, they do it also, but they exaggerate what they do. They show some very useless aspect of, because don't let us use complicated word. Cinematherapy means uses cinema to change orientation, using cinema to correct people. You understand? Using drama to correct people, or interview, like what we are doing now, is a form of therapy. That is what you are afraid of doing before. You see somebody doing it and you too do it. So it is not something complicated, but there are techniques to it. Now, as a young person, you can even start with just words. That why should I? When there's something I have on Valentine, my Valentine. It's about how people mess up during Valentine. Just very few words. I put it on YouTube there, and some people will listen to it and they'll say, "Wow!" So you can say that. Why should I mess myself up? My life is a product to transform other lives. When my life is spoiled, other lives get spoiled too. So why should I mess up when I have a destiny? Just something simple like that, push it out. And little by little, it begins to expand. And then things you read in books too, begin to summarize them. And then especially this book, Think and Grow Rich, Eat That Frog, the richest man in Babylon. There are several little things that are in them. Begin to project them. You may not be perfect at the beginning. You see, I don't want it to look like somebody was telling me that, we are bibliotherapists, we should be special. I said, anybody can be. I'm not trying to say that we are the major people. Some people just make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Let's just try to make impact. In fact, it's a big field that cannot be exhausted. So,
Exhausted, yeah.
and then we are coming up with an institution which can be online and also physical. Some have enrolled to come, but I don't want to make it as if until you go to the school you cannot. No, you can. But
yeah,
it enhances you better when you know what we are talking about, because there are errors that people do. They think it is cinematherapy. You understand that? Cinematherapy is not to make profit or to make people love you, but they see sense in what you are doing. They get glued to it. How to make people get glued. That is where catharsis and identification comes in. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So that response was for Victoria, and I hope Dr. Shola did justice to your question. Just to buttress Dr. Shola's comment, here is the video Dr. Shola was talking about. So tell you how simple bibliotherapy is. Bibliotherapy is really that simple. If you think it's an area you want to go, all you need to do, I believe Dr. Shola will share his contact details with us. You can find him on Facebook at Dr. Sola Owolabi. Just simple things like what you see right now. Take a look at this.
My Valentine, a poem by Sola Owolabi. I caught Valentine basking in romance, completely swept off in ignorance, rushing to grow up in a hurry, not knowing that later I'll be sorry. I thought I was his only date, oblivious of Laura, Nancy, and Kate. It took the veil I've kept for years. Now lost, I'm seeking with tears. I wish I could turn the end of time, go back to years my age was prime. It's not my Valentine. We were many. We were as cheap as many for a penny. None of us walked the aisle with him. He threw me away like a broken card, the sim. Tell your girls never to hurry to grow, lest their glory away they throw.
Oh my goodness, sir. Now I know why they call you also drama coordinator, sir. Okay, so having said this, very quickly, the question, like I said, these were the last set of questions. I'm aware there's a book. The first time I got to learn about the works you do, I got to know more about you when I learned about your book, The Library Boy. So that Library Boy, I'm not sure what inspired you to write that book, but it handled a lot of issues that we experience in society today. It dealt with so many issues in societies, and today we have a limited time, but I would like you to please let us know what inspired that book, how we can get that book if someone needs that book, Library Boy. And I'm asking this question all in one. With all these things that you have achieved, these contributions you are making, sir, do you still feel that there is still much more to do in terms of collaboration and mentoring and raising a next generation of people like you? Do you still think there's more to do, sir?
Thank you very much. Starting from The Library Boy, I didn't even know you have read it. I'm so excited that you have read it.
It didn't take me long. I ordered for it then. It didn't take me long at all to complete it.
Thank you very much. The book was inspired by people I've seen around me, and also my upbringing too. There are people. What made some of us to be so distinct is by the grace of God, the education we had. Some of us, our parents made some mistakes. I won't say I came from a very rich family, but at a point we lost everything. And you could see the reaction of other people to you. So to now be able to balance, I saw that education played a very important role, apart from the fact that I got born again, a Christian and all that. But education also plays its major role. If I never went, because some of my cousins, they still maintain the business that our family was doing, went to oil business from NMPC and all that. It was big money at that time, but my parents lost theirs, but some of my cousins still went that way. Later they crashed. But me, this education built me out, and I see that the leveler between the rich and the poor is education. And library plays a major important role in the life of the poor people. You don't have access to book, go to library. So the book is instructive. It's a way of also projecting the library as a place where you can have your salvation. Even when you cannot buy books, when you cannot do everything, there are books in the library. And also we saw the dichotomy between trained librarian and librarians that are not trained, because, and then also to project that schools should have libraries. If you look at some of the salient points in that book, I was advocating a lot of things in that book. So, and then even issue of cheating, several things were put together to make sure that we are able to address a lot of things. And I'm very happy a lot of copies have been sold, because I didn't do what the mistake that many Nigerian authors do. We publish things by ourselves. We don't follow what's in the library school. I that wrote the book, am I supposed to also go ahead and publish? We had to look for a publishing house. I first got one. That one published about 600 copies and gave 300 to me to sell. It will sell. I said that this is a quack. I can never. So I spoke to my friend, Dr. Alonge, and Dr. Alonge introduced me to someone. We had to go and speak to him, convince him, and then he was able to said, okay, let's try your book. And with the fillers I'm having from the market, I think the book happens to be one of the best is selling. I don't want to estimate, but I think about more than 10,000 copies have been sold as of now. So the book is actually going far. And then to buy it, I think I will share maybe with you later the name of the publishing house, and then we can buy from them. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I do not, like we said, are there things to do? As a matter of fact, we are just starting. There are a lot of, somebody said, if you want to start producing videos now, several people are into video and all that. I said, the market is not saturated. And also, we have an edge because you are speaking from the point of a professional. And there's what people want. And sincerely, a lot of people have problems. A lot of problems. Children now don't read. In fact, I'm starting a reading institute. Also, we have practiced it here. A lot of parents subscribe to it. Reading institute can be another thing for you entirely. There's a project I sent somebody that we give children employment letters. Have you ever seen that before? Employment letters to reading school. That is the read. You now speak to the parents. The parents, things that they ordinarily buy for children, anyhow, they convert it to salary. So when you read well, you come to knowledge kitchen, because we don't call it library, we call it knowledge kitchen. So in the knowledge kitchen, you have come to join the book burger club, BBC, because we call it because the book is a burger.
So we get all these ideas from these phrases. So they are mind blowing.
You come to book burger club, and then from there we integrate you into the knowledge kitchen, and then your performance will begin to report to your parents. So we now, the parents pay us to pay you. So at the end of the month, we now say this is your salary. So it's so intriguing. Parents are so excited. And also, I've just developed a game now. We call it POSACRO. We have shortened it to POSAC. That is positive acronym. People call you idiot, but we are saying turn it to an acronym, IDIOT. That is indomitable, determined, intelligent, organized, and then timely, or I have tenacity. Several things. And then as many as you are forming those words, you are generating points. It's a computer game, and then you are getting more points. So a lot of things are happening for the university's technology exhibition this year. Posacro is going to be the major game to be exhibited. Then apart from other ones. So
amazing. I remember we had a little chat about this yesterday, and I think one other useful thing you said that day was the collaboration. So you see, these are things that we cannot achieve by ourselves as librarians. There are areas where we'll still need to collaborate with people.
With other people,
I was so glad to hear that you were collaborating with the IT department,
computer science department.
Exactly, to actually achieve this. See, Dr. Collins Chisita, I believe he's watching from South Africa. I think he just coined out that word, book burger kitchen. So I think, so what you don't know now, you are teaching a lot of people some very creative words. And I know that whoever watches this video to this point from the beginning, there's no how you will not be inspired. Your thinking will change. And I'm really excited at how this session has gone today. Thank you so much, Dr. Owolabi.
You're welcome.
Sir, this one will be a very quick one because everyone is on my neck right now backstage to round up the session. I just wanted our viewers to know that you are not just a bibliotherapist. You are also skilled in the area of technologies in library.
Yeah.
Considering what the state of our libraries today, what are your prospects? What do you see for libraries? What do you think are the implications of AI and digital tools in our libraries and the need for integration of technology in our operations?
Yeah, I think that Nigeria now, as a matter of fact, I just finished a paper for one of my friends. She is for women, but I just had to look at it and then we reason together that artificial intelligence is a game changer when it comes to library operations, but most people, the knowledge base is very low. And that is what we should first focus in library and information science. In fact, there's a need for review of our curriculum. For those that have not acquired technology, there's a need for us, I'll call it roadside street knowledge that we need to get. You don't have to enroll in a school, but there is street knowledge, collaboration with people. My friend, can I see this? Let me check this. Let me check that. But to be
Okay. Hello. Okay, I think I hope it's not just me, but I think we lost Victoria. Are you there? Victoria, can you hear me? Victoria, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. So I think the challenge is from Dr. Owolabi's end. So let's hope that he will be joining us shortly. So while Dr. Owolabi is coming back, obviously that may just have been a hitch from its side. I would like to let us know that we have come to the part where we will now declare Dr. Owolabi as the Librarian of the Month. And to do that, we have Mrs. Folashade Adepoju. She's backstage right now, and we have a surprise guest that's here backstage with us. They are going to be doing us the honor of presenting this award and recognition to Dr. Sola Owolabi. So please, I want you to know that Mrs. Folashade is backstage, and Mrs. Olani, Hajiya Olani is backstage. And we want
Hello.
you to know that we have a surprise guest that is here to actually present the official recognition to Dr. Sola Owolabi. I would quickly like to let us know now that Dr. Sola Owolabi is here again. He's back here now.
I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah.
We use the university Wi-Fi, so the light went off, so they quickly put it back. We are not allowed to use generator here. It's the university generator that we use, so you cannot do your own personal arrangement. Sorry. So let me just quickly round off. There's a need for knowledge management in library and information science in relation to technology. So how do we integrate technology to have hybrid services? We need as individuals to continue to encourage review of our curriculum, number one, and also street knowledge about ICT, and also especially now AI that is new. AI is just beginning. We have not seen anything in AI.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, it is the game changer, a new thing that is coming on board. So we need to prepare for it. And that's what we call growing with technology. I call it technomaturity. My friend knows I coined that word, and I've written a paper on that. It is called technomaturity. That is, as technology is growing, you are maturing with it. Things that you should drop, things that you should grow with, but that's another area of study entirely, which I'm working on. Technomaturity is necessary, but sincerely, AI is a game changer, and there's a need for us to constantly update ourselves. So the library science curriculum, there's a need for us to review it, and I'm sure policymakers have said that on several platforms. They need to look into it. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much. So today, I don't know, a lot of people will have to create a new dictionary because you have revealed so many things for them today. Now you have mentioned, though I have heard it before, but I know it may be new to some persons. I don't know if my spelling is correct. Technomaturity. That is maturity with technology, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's TUR technomaturity. See, just like maturity.
Okay. Pardon my spelling. All right. So thank you very much. Sir, I want to let you know that we are heading to the part where we will declare you. There's somebody that's here to surprise you, and she's here backstage. But before that, can you just let us know what advice would you give to your younger self now that we are ending this session? This is the final question. Before, maybe I just ask you one very funny question. What advice would you give to your younger self in not more than 20 words? What would you advise yourself?
That's a big question. I think speaking to my younger self, I'm speaking to myself, Shola. You ought to have gone miles ahead of now. There are things you ought to have learned that you have not learned, and then don't waste time on irrelevancies. Focus on one thing, because I was a master of many things, but you ought to have narrowed earlier. So, Shola, because I developed a pyramid theory, that you ought to have developed this theory earlier. Pyramid theory has to do with looking at 4 sides of the pyramid. Don't think you are the best on one side. Look at other people. And don't stay long at the bottom. Go to fight for the top that is narrow. Because not many people will occupy that narrow part. Thank you.
Wow. Everyone, please help me celebrate Dr. Sola Owolabi. Please, for those of us watching, please just share your thoughts. The questions are over now. Please help us appreciate Dr. Owolabi for his time, while we'll make welcome our chairman, the chairman of the evaluation committee. She's backstage now. While she's coming up, Dr. Sola, would you still choose this career if you were to start all over? Not more than 5 words, or just tell me yes or no. Would you still choose this career? Are you sure you would?
Definitely.
Are you sure?
Because of, you see, most people don't understand what we are doing, and then they don't know what librarianship is all about. But if it is the librarianship handed over to me, no.
It's okay. So having said that, please, ladies and gentlemen, our dear viewers, this is Madam Folashade Adepoju.
Wow.
Madam Shade,
wow.
Madam Shade, good evening. Is she there? Your mic is mute and your video seems to be muted.
Good evening, Sylvester. Good evening, Dr. Sola.
Mama.
Dr. Sola, my mentor. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, ma.
I told Sylvester that we have Dr. Sola is loaded. For any librarian that is ready for the future, then let Dr. Sola come on board. Dr. Sola, I've listened to you all through, and I will say, Dr. Sola, may this knowledge, may you continue to feed us. Thank you for bibliotherapy, because I think we need to now delve more into this as librarians. Our duty should not be to just sit down in the library and wait. We can always take our service to every part of the society as librarians. Thank you, Dr. Sola, for everything you've done and for what you are going to do. We appreciate you.
Wow.
So, Sylvester, thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for bringing Dr. Sola on board today. We appreciate you.
Thank you for all you do, ma.
Okay, Dr. Sola, we have a surprise guest for you.
Okay.
We have a surprise guest for you this evening. You know, we have learnt under you, and we too, we are always sitting on the shoulder of giants. We have a giant in the house that is a surprise guest, and you'll be surprised to see her. She's
I can't hear from here.
Oh, okay.
Hello. She's a gentle giant. She's a gentle giant. She's a soft-spoken librarian. On these notes, we're going to call in Ajia Olani to the.
Wow.
On this note, we're calling Ajia Olani.
Okay, we are waiting. Okay,
she's my chairman.
Yeah, she's coming live now. She's coming up now.
Hello, the network is
challenging there.
Yeah. The network, we're having challenge with network. Dr. Sola, thank you so much.
Ajia Olani just retired from service recently.
Oh my God, yes, she retired last week.
As a matter of fact, she really did well, and she's a bibliotherapist sort of, because
she is
the first
she's
time
here now. Ajia Olani is here. Please unmute your mic, ma. Unmute your mic.
Yes, I can
unmute your mic. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma.
Thanks for coming online, Dr. Sola. It's nice seeing you.
Thank you so much, ma.
Good evening, ma.
Wow. Good evening. That's Shade.
Yes, ma. Good evening, ma.
Good evening. Dr. Sola, it's nice having you after a very long time.
Thank you so much, ma, my chairman.
Our bibliotherapy, in fact, he forced me to start reading on bibliotherapy. I started going from one page to the other, visiting sites and sharing my knowledge with others, discussing with those that are also bibliotherapists. And I used it in one of my last discussion that librarians are large.
Yeah.
Librarians are large, They are knowledge builders, they are knowledge disseminators. But it depends on how you want to widen your horizon.
Yeah.
Dr. Shola, I give it to you.
Thank you,
We
ma'am.
served together on NLA Association of Kwara State Chapter. While I was the chairman, Dr. Shola was the secretary. And before
Yes.
I closed my eyes and opened it, he had flew to Abeokuta. I said, no, who is snatching him away? Who is snatching Dr. Shola from Kwara? We must get him
Oh
back.
my goodness! Wow.
But we knew the bigger wig. They took him over from us. But we've seen his work all over the place.
Thank
In
you so
fact,
much, ma'am.
if everyone is striving hard like Dr. Shola, I'm sure
Yeah.
librarians will be better. He encouraged me to take so many courses on media librarianship, and probably I would have earned my doctorate degree now. He wanted me to also toe the line. He encouraged me, but women, we have so many forces that drag us.
Yes,
We really
yes.
appreciate you, Dr. Shola. You are an enigma.
Thank you so much,
You
ma'am.
are an emerald to be cherished in the field of librarianship.
Wow.
Your
Wow.
book, I wanted to use just last Thursday, but I learned you were out of the country. We couldn't reach you. We wanted to have as many copies as 500 copies, but we
Wow,
couldn't
wow.
reach you. And I said, no, if anybody couldn't reach Shola and I too couldn't reach you, that means you need to tell us wherever you are going. We'll use Google Map after you to ensure you'll be available when we need you. I enjoyed your lecture. I enjoyed your
Thank you so
speech.
much,
I
ma'am.
enjoyed your knowledge sharing, particularly because in some situations, some people will want to be the hype. They won't want any other person to follow suit. They will not disclose, they will not disseminate, and they will not share. But I thank God for the kind of person you are. You always share knowledge. And it doesn't stop there. You also want to train people to know how to do it. And that is the best way for us to forge ahead, to multiply the effect. So you are a multiplier in sharing your effect. We
Thank you
appreciate
so
you.
much, ma'am.
We congratulate you. And I'm looking forward to your professorship very soon.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much,
the
ma'am.
organizer of this program. It's novel that librarians are also found on this platform and knowledge-driven area. We appreciate you. We appreciate Dr. Sola Owolabi. We
Thank you
appreciate
so
your
much, ma'am.
dear wife. Behind every successful man is an enduring woman, a patient woman. We appreciate her for giving you all the time that you needed to focus on your work. We hereby present you. Am I presenting the certificates?
Yes, yes, you are.
So we hereby present you this certificate to Dr.
Thank you.
Shola,
Thank you so
Librarian
much.
Spotlight, on the 28th of September, which coincides with my Thanksgiving ceremony in
Wow.
my so in fact, when I was told I'll be the one to do this, I said, I hope I would have tidied up from my Thanksgiving ceremony. But
Wow.
fortunately, as I remembered, I quickly went online and I started calling immediately. So it's double celebration for me today, my Thanksgiving, celebrating my 60th birthday and my retirement
Wow.
Thanksgiving,
Wow.
and also
Wow.
giving Dr. Shola a certificate
Congratulations.
of recognition on Librarian Spotlight.
Thank you
Thank you
so much,
so
Wow.
ma'am.
much. Thank
Thank
Wow.
you
you so
so
Thank
much.
much. May
you.
God continue to
Thank
bless
you.
you,
Amen.
bless
Amen.
the organizer of this program, and forge
Amen.
ahead on this platform. Thank you so much for giving me
Amen.
the
Thank you so
opportunity
Amen.
much,
to do
ma'am.
this to Dr. Shola. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Amen.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Everyone, please drop in the comment section your appreciation for Dr. Sola Owolabi. Help us say a very big thank you to Dr. Sola. Dr. Collins Chisita says Dr. Sola is God's gift to the world. Thank you. Thank you. Abdul Karim says, thank you, Dr. Shola. And yes, many other comments. Victoria says, thank you so much. My mind is literally blown. She says, congratulations, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Shola, for everything you do and for the time you have spent here with us today in this interview. I know you may have one or two words that you may want to say in reaction to this as we bring the program to a close. Thank you, Hajia Olani, for helping us declare our Librarian of the Month. And any moment from now, Ramatu, immediately after Dr. Sola Owolabi accepts this recognition, Ramatu will give a very brief appreciation message to everyone, and then we'll close. Over to you,
thank
Doc.
you very much. Thank you very much. First to Ajia, this is a good one. I add through, I think through Dr. Yusuf, that you are concluding your, not that you are buying out, not that you are retiring, you are concluding this phase of your service to humanity to take up a higher level. I want to say thank you very much. The first time we met you, it was Dr. Yusuf and I in Asia. You were meeting young ones, and we were there too to meet young ones, to speak to them, and that was how we started. And from that time, we have done a lot of projects together. We want to say thank you very much. And I pray that God will continue to strengthen you. And to the organizers of the program, I must say this is mind-blowing. Sincerely, I just said, let me share knowledge. I never knew that you prepare to this extent. Then, Madam, sorry, my Madam Shade, I want to say her surname, Madam Shade from Abuja. Adepoju, yeah. My very good friend. You won't believe there was a time I landed in Abuja with my wife. Late in the night, it was raining. We were looking for the best hotel to stay. She said, come straight to my house. My wife and I had to stay there. My wife was to go to embassy the next morning. She took us to the embassy. So I want to say thank you. We have built a family over the years. Librarianship is a family. I want to continue this way. And I want to encourage everyone that bibliotherapy and cinematherapy, this is a big field for us to explore. You can put a lot into it. And sincerely, nobody is an island of knowledge. If anybody says, this is my field, I'm the only one studying in that area, that person does not even know what life is all about. So it is our field. It is where everybody can actually triumph and then make impact. What we are targeting is changing lives, transforming our society, and making name for librarianship. And I'm sure with this, we'll be able to continue to make impact. Thank you very much. I deeply appreciate this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you, sir. Rukaya Mohammed says, congratulations, Dr. Shola. Undubisi Chima says, congrats. Kudos to the organizers. And Ibrahim Mutua says, congratulations. Wishing you the best from Kapachan, Kaduna State. And Lucky is from Abuja and is saying, thank you very much, Dr. Shola. Everybody is grateful. And I know those who will watch this video in the future, the next 5-10 years, they will be grateful that you shared all these tips with them. Posterity will be grateful to you for your time here today, sir.
Thank you.
Ramat, good evening, and how are you?
Good evening, everyone. Wow, this is a mind-blowing section, I must say. Dr. Shola, congratulations. And really, I had somebody say you are an encyclopedia of knowledge. I agree with that because my take-home message today, I'm learning 2 words, which is bibliography or cinematherapy. So it's a hard blowing. And on behalf of Librarian Spotlight Africa, we say thank you very much for your time and also for the opportunity to tell our young ones. This is a very hard blowing because I live in a society where people neglect librarianship. But with all this kind of session, I know it will boost our young generation librarianship. They should know that we are special and we are always giving back to the society. And my mommy, I'm meeting you for the first time. Congratulations for your retirement. Wish you long life and prosperity. And we are learning from you people, and we are following your footsteps. Once again, we really appreciate each and everyone that was able to join this section. We meet next month with amazing section 2 with also librarians of the month of next month. Can't wait to meet you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So for those of you watching right now, please subscribe to this channel. We appreciate the Nigerian Library Association, LibTech, and every other person supporting us. And to our team, led by Madam Shade, we say thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Victoria, any final words from you before we say good night? Victoria, your mic is mute.
My head is still smoking hot. My head is still smoking hot, so I don't really have much to say. I'm just blown away. I want to say thank you so much for coming, sir. Thank you, Ma. Thank you. I'm so privileged and honored to have access to this information. And on behalf of the young librarians that are coming up, we'll try our best. Like, I'm literally inspired to do more in the field of librarianship. I no longer have the mindset that librarianship is limited. There's a lot of diversity to it, and by God's grace, we shall do valiantly. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on. So I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. So, just as we say good night, as I say good night, we're playing the last set of video now for this, just to let you know that what we do here right now is motivated by our team. If you have any way you would like to support us by volunteering to be on this team, please do well to reach out to us on our social media platforms, and we will let you know the requirements to be a part of our team. In any other way you feel you could support and extend this message that we do that you love, please let us know and support what we do. Subscribe to this channel is the way that we grow, and it motivates us to keep doing more. For those of us who are librarians and interested to learn about library automation, all you need to do is to reach out to us, and we'll connect you to courses that can help you achieve that. On the screen are some other information or announcements that can be of help to you. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to announce to you that we have come to the end of this edition. We'll come back your way again next month with another librarian of the month, not from Nigeria, but somewhere far away from Nigeria, all in the same continent of Africa. And then we'll see you in October. Goodbye.